Hello everyone and welcome back to Coffee with Kirren. I'm your host Kirren and today we have a special guest joining us, Aidana, a representative from Sobha Realty, one of Dubai's leading developers. We're diving deep into the world of Dubai real estate, exploring everything from career journeys to investment opportunities. So grab your coffee, settle in and let's get started. Aidana, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kirren, for inviting me.
No problem at all. So, Aidana, let's start with your personal journey. Where did you live before you came to Dubai, and what made you move to Dubai?
So actually, it's a very, very funny story. I lived in London before.
Right.
I came to Dubai for vacation, only for 1 week actually. Then I stayed 2 weeks, and I stayed 1 month, 2 months, and I didn't go back to London within a year. All my stuff was in the storage, so I didn't plan to move here. I just arrived in Dubai, and I'm just like, oh my God, I want to stay here forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So then how did you get into real estate? So you've come to Dubai, you've decided to stay, and then did you go straight into real estate or were you working somewhere else first?
So actually, I was doing real estate back in London. So I was doing real estate while I was studying my master's degree and after graduation as well, during the COVID, all of it.
Oh.
I knew exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
And after being here like for 2 weeks, I've got invited in real estate company as a broker, and I joined 1 month later.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then, so what was the journey like for you when it came to being a broker? Like, what was the recruitment process? Did you go for an interview and did you go through any stages of an interview or?
So actually how it was, because I had experience in London, so some of my ex-colleagues, they shared my phone number with recruiter because that company was exactly based on the UK brokers.
Right.
And they contacted me directly. I shared my CV, was invited next day to the interview, came to the interview, had 2 interviews in 1 day and got the job offer same time.
Amazing. You were made for this job anyway. So yeah, it makes sense. So during the interview, were you given much information about the job itself? Like, were you told what the working hours were going to be, how to actually do the job? Like the training, were you offered training? Were you given training?
So actually, yeah, we had the training firstly. We had the first week of training because for me, the most difficult thing was exactly to change the way it worked in the UK, as you know.
For me
and
too.
Here, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, during the training, we had some, like, trainings for what is DLD and so on and so on. I was informed as well regarding the working hours, which I still hate because it was from 8:30. It's too much.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. And as you know, as a broker, you are not paid salary.
Yeah.
And you want me to come at 8:30 without salary, which was crazy, which I couldn't handle. It was one of the reasons I left the job, by the way.
Oh, really? So when you left your job as a broker, where did you go?
I joined Sobha.
Okay.
I joined Sobha. So the thing is that, like, with me, I was working in that real estate company for 9 months.
Right.
A little bit even more than 9 months. And everything was actually quite good and everything. However, with me, it was... we all get in different kind of clients.
Yeah.
And sometimes the client wants particular developer.
Yeah.
Or particular project, which I don't want to sell, you know what I mean, because of reputation or something else. And that was actually one of the main reasons I joined Sobha, because the reputation is one of the strongest in the market, one of the best quality as well. And I like what I sell.
Right. Okay. So going back to, you mentioned obviously you work for Sobha, but for our listeners who may not be familiar, who is Sobha?
So Sobha, we are one of the biggest developers in whole UAE. We're the only fully backward integrated company in whole UAE, which means we have everything in-house.
Yeah.
Our founder, PNC Man, and he's been on the market for almost 50 years.
Right.
Yeah. In 90s, he was building the palaces for Middle Eastern sheikhs and presidents.
Yeah.
So he was born in India, but he has a passport of Oman. He built the palace for the Sheikh of Oman.
Wow. And
he liked the quality, the finishes. He gave him the passport of Oman, which is like, it's not like in Europe or in the UK where you buy properties, they give you the passport.
Yeah.
It's complete. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
It's one of the strongest in the world. But also what is important as well, this is how the journey of the palace maker starts.
Yeah.
That's why whenever we launch villas, it's getting sold out.
Yeah.
Because our villas is the best quality. Trust me, you will not find better villas than Sobha.
No. But even also with the founder, he's built a palace in Sobha Hartland as well, right?
Yeah,
And he's building one in Sobha Hartland too.
Correct.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing to see. If you look at it on the model and then you see it out there in the real life, it's crazy. You think you're dreaming it.
We have everything in house from A to Z, and we have the strongest reputation with the best quality as well.
This is why Sobha's my favorite developer. I don't say that all the time. Sobha is my favorite. So what makes Sobha different to other developers in terms of like quality and timelines or ROI?
I think that I'm not sure about the listeners, but everyone who lives in Dubai, we know that there were the cases when developers were delaying the project. By DLD law, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you can delay as developer for 1 year.
Right.
And it was COVID and some projects were delayed for longer than that. However, in Sobha, we didn't have even 1 day of delay even during the COVID.
What does Sobha specialize in? What kind of properties or whereabouts are they located?
So this is also very interesting. When I joined Sobha almost 3 years ago, we had only one community, which is Sobha Hartland.
Yeah.
One. Now we have 10 communities all over Dubai. We have the whole island, which is 1.5 times bigger than Palm Jumeirah. Growth of Sobha within these 3 years is amazing. And what is the most important? Now we have the product for every budget, from 1 million dirham up to 230 million
Definitely.
dirham. In each area, in all main areas of Dubai. And we have island lifestyle as well.
And that island is right near the new
Yes, exactly.
upcoming Wynn Resort, right?
Exactly.
So what kind of properties are they? What kind of do Sobha specialize in any particular property, or what kind of properties do they offer?
So Sobha is specializing on communities. We are famous that because we're always building the communities, we're building the whole infrastructure, all the amenities. So whenever you're entering any community of Sobha, starting from the roads, ending up with, I don't know, with cleaners or with gardeners, everyone is Sobha representatives and everything is done by Sobha as well.
Yeah.
And also Sobha communities are very famous as well because of its greenery.
Yeah.
And schools. Yeah, either we have the school inside the community, either we have school somewhere nearby.
And in Sobha Hartland, the two schools are the top leading schools, right? So it's always a world leading school.
Exactly. And of course, we're always choosing the top locations of Dubai as well.
Can you provide any examples of when Sobha's delivered a project which has exceeded the expectations when it comes to ROI or a completion date?
Of course. So, for example, like we have the great example of Sobha Hartland one.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for 1-bedroom apartment for myself recently. So what we're talking about? We are talking about that the rental in Sobha Hartland 1 is much higher than in Business Bay. First of all. Secondly, people were buying 1-bedroom apartments within, let's say, 900,000, 950, below 1 million, slightly below than 1 million dirham. And currently renting them out for 95,000, 100,000 minimum per year. This is like return of investment you're getting in Sobha Hartland 1. If we talk about bigger units, of course, the prices go higher as well.
What is that percentage as ROI?
Minimum 10%.
Minimum 10%.
Minimum 10%.
Why do you think Sobha Hartland is doing better than Business Bay?
First of all, community is absolutely different lifestyle.
100%.
When you have everything in your doorstep, when you have shops, pharmacies, cafes, restaurants, whatever you need, everything in your doorstep. However, at the same time, you have the walking areas, you have the parks, you have the greenery, you have the dogs parks and everything. This is completely different lifestyle.
And I think once we were doing a viewing and we were looking outside and there was an outdoor cinema as well, right? In the gardens. That was really cool. And there was like bean bags and a food truck or something. That like loads of fun.
Exactly. Because like, look, I've been in Dubai for quite a long time and I lived in different areas of Dubai as well. What I can tell you is that in Business Bay and downtown, for living, it's not suitable. If you're coming for 1 week, for 2 weeks, maybe yes. However, for living, it's not, because there is no walking area. You have to use your car always. Firstly. Secondly, even like if you can walk somewhere, you're walking through the huge constructions. And it's not a nice road, so it's dusty as well. Firstly. And secondly as well, like traffic is killing.
I was waiting for that bit. I was waiting for that to come.
Traffic is killing. However, when you go for the communities, it's greenery, it's nice, it's even like pleasant to look at it.
Yeah, for sure. So what about project completion, I remember there was a story about how you'd handed over quite ahead of the handover date.
Yeah.
What was that project?
So first of all, the most important thing that we didn't have even 1 day of delay in the whole history of Sobha.
Yeah.
We delivered more than 350 projects all over the world.
Yeah.
Firstly. And secondly, even during the COVID. So Kirren, how many developers in the world who delivered on time in COVID?
Well, from my experience in the UK, 0. In Dubai, I believe not many, if any. Just you? Just Sobha?
That's what I'm talking about. And everything after the COVID, we deliver even earlier. Yeah. So, for example, the latest project, which is Creek Vista Grande, we delivered it, I think, 8 or 9 months earlier.
Right.
Yeah. The previous projects, Waves Grande, Waves, One Park Avenue. So everything after the COVID, we deliver from 3 to 9 months earlier, which is unbelievable, to be honest, especially when you got used that some developers are constantly delaying for minimum 1 year.
Yeah.
We are delivering it on time or before time.
Yeah.
Even you can ask ChatGPT about it, which is quite interesting though, regarding Sobha reputation timing as well. ChatGPT, this I trust. It will give you all the information as well.
Amazing. Even they know about Sobha.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's really important with having the handover dates being, on time or early, because, I've got a client whose property is delayed by 6 months at least. So, and it is frustrating. I mean, for some people, it's like, okay, I've got another 6 months to make that last payment. But for some people, no, if it's a property you're moving into, you're going to have to pay rent for another 6 months. So being on time or being early works out better in most people's favor.
Of course. But also, sorry for interrupting, but also what I want to tell you is that it's not that we're just delivering earlier and informing the client, tomorrow you have to pay the amount which has to be paid on completion.
That happens.
Client being informed regarding construction update constantly, monthly or once in a quarter. Clients are receiving emails with construction update. Clients are receiving that, for example, emails that the completion will be earlier.
Yeah.
So everyone is informed in advance regarding that, which is very important because some people are getting scared.
So what is your favorite Sobha project and why?
Sobha Hartland too. I think it's your favorite as well, right?
The actual, so that's the whole development, right? Sobha Hartland too.
Yes.
And then within that, we had Riverside Crescent, and it was 310, 330, 320.
Exactly.
And I think 360 was probably the last one I sold, but then you had the more luxury ones come up, right?
Skyscape and Skyview as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I love communities, and location-wise is perfect. It's so close to Burj Khalifa downtown, 7 to 10 minutes driving. And you have everything inside the community. Yeah. You have private beach access, you have shopping mall, you have school, you have clubhouse, you have the promenade with all restaurants, cafes and shops. So you have literally everything what is needed.
Yeah.
And plus you can use the numbers based on Sobha Hartland 1.
Yeah.
So to calculate the return of investment. But Hartland 2 is even more luxurious, even more premium level. So you already have the history of Sobha Hartland 1. Yeah. Firstly, and secondly, Meydan area is one of the most developing areas of Dubai and one of the most green areas of Dubai as well.
Yeah.
The new metro line is coming, everything is developing super fast. And at the same time, you have here Ras Al Khor next to you have Burj Khalifa downtown, you have Meydan free zone. So it's literally clicking all the boxes.
100%. And it is Sobha Hartland 2 is always I don't want to say an easy sell, but it is I can't really tell you much bad about it. So that's why we have sold a few properties in there together. Because for me, before I even bring a client, I'm no, you have to see this. I think most of the time it's been out people's price range as well. No, I don't want to spend that much. But when they see it and they understand you're getting this lagoon, you're getting, there's mansions there and villas from around 20 million. And 25. I always say 20. We didn't start off at 20 million because I always say 20 million. You got a clubhouse, you've got so much. And the location for me is key. The fact that it's so close to Business Bay and downtown. But again, it's a community. So it's obviously people come in and see Sobha Hartland 1. But Sobha Hartland 2 is going to be on a higher level. Exactly. So it's just so, you're right, it just ticks all the boxes. There's not really anything bad you can say about it. And the price, when you see what you're getting views of either downtown or the wildlife sanctuary or something like that. So you're right, it ticks all the boxes and it's worth every penny then as well. Because as an investment it's going to be amazing, or even living there yourself, you're going to have an amazing experience and everything being on your doorstep. So yeah, for sure. But
And also, sorry for interrupting,
all right.
what I wanted to add as well, which is very important, that in Sobha Hartland 1, we have 2 schools, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
In Sobha Hartland 2, we have the school inside the community as well. Doesn't matter which country, which city in the world we're talking about. School inside the community is your guarantee of the high demand on the rental, on the resale.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what's happened in this world, this is always going to be high demand. Also, because those are the closest schools to Burj Khalifa downtown.
Yeah.
And at the same time, those are international schools. And for example, if we take a look on the secondary market and we take a look, compare, like, for example, Sobha Hartland 1 with, let's say, Dubai Creek or any other community, which is also close to Burj Khalifa downtown, but without school, you will see that the demand exactly on the community with school is much higher.
It's a school. The thing is, it's easier to be living near a school. So to be walking distance to a school, that's, well, let's talk from the UK perspective. Like, people walk to school. They're not very often you commute to school unless you're going to a specialist school. So yeah, living in a community where there's a school where your children can just like take themselves there, or, you know, someone you can, it's a short drive, is definitely a benefit. And then also other people are going to be coming into that community and wanting to be in that school, especially if it's a world leading. So yeah, schools are a massive selling feature.
Exactly.
Going back to, we spoke about ROI, but let's talk about appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
How much more do Sobha properties appreciate in comparison to like other developers, or, you know, how do they hold their value, or how do they compare?
Of course. So if we talk about apartments, for example, apartments almost doubled the price. Yeah. I understand that it was pre-COVID or COVID times and it was different pricing. However, at the same time, even when I joined Sobha 3 years ago, I was teaching people what is Maidan.
Yeah.
I was teaching that Sobha Hartland 1 is not far away.
Yeah.
Because people were thinking. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's also very important to invest in developing areas.
Yes.
Villas, our villas almost tripled the price. So actually, founder of Sobha, PNC Menon, he's famous all over the world as a palace maker.
Yeah.
And our villas in Sobha Hartland 1, they tripled the price, almost tripled the price, which is actually very amazing. And we are talking about the numbers right now in the community, which is still under construction. So we're still like, not every amenity is ready, but still showing this like apartments almost double the price, villas almost triple the price.
What do those prices start at?
So back to that time, there was like prices starting from 850, 900 approximately, I would say.
For an apartment?
For an apartment, yes.
And how much are they today?
Oh, I would say 1.4, 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah. These are the starting price. Of course, there is someone who is urgently selling something and it will be lower. But this is the starting, And
just for the listeners, it does depend on what floor you're on. It depends on what view you have as well. So this is just a rough guide to show how much it has appreciated. But the pricing does come down to the actual location of the apartment in the building. So yeah, bear that in mind as well.
And the view, of course.
And the view, of course,
But for villas, for example, we were selling some approximately forest villas in Sobha Hartland 1, 5-bedroom. They were approximately within like 9 to 10 million, if I'm not mistaken. And currently on the secondary markets, first of all, you will not find lots of them on the resale. And those are approximately like 22 to 24 million.
Wow.
And the rental is there starts per year, 1.3 up to 1.5 million per year.
Wow.
I'm talking about exactly standalone forest villas because there was a mixture. We were selling some plots. There were some townhouses as well. Back to that time, we were building townhouses, not anymore.
I was going to say no.
But can you imagine like, and still... Lagoon in Heartland 1 is still not completed. It's still construction going on. So we have these numbers based on the community where still construction is going on. Which is amazing. 100%.
The community itself actually looks really nice. We've walked around it several times. I know people that live in the community as well, and it is a really nice place to be. You don't really feel the construction when you're inside the community. The construction's on the outside, probably more on the outsides now, isn't it? Just saying, you're saying you used to do townhouses, but you don't anymore. You also don't do studios, right?
Yeah.
So your apartment, how many bedrooms do they go up to?
So we have starting from 1 bedroom up to 4-bedroom apartments. Depends on the project. The smallest one is 500 square foot for 1 bedroom. Each apartment has a balcony. We have also bigger units as well, but the price goes higher.
Of course.
Villas, we don't do any townhouses anymore. What we do, we have standalone villas. which each villa by Sobha comes with a pool. And you are in the real estate market, you know how it's important.
A massive, yeah. A lot of people, when they go to sales centers and they'll see a model of a villa, selling a villa, they will always show it with a pool. Or even if you're going around a show villa, it will show a pool.
Exactly.
So people are expecting to get a landscaped garden and a pool, and that's just not true. Like, I don't know, not many people, very rarely do developers offer a pool already with the villa. You have to go and like put it in yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And also large plots as well. You have all standalone villas with a large plot. And what we have now, all the villas by Sobha coming with marble flooring, double height of the ceiling, with the pools, not tiny jacuzzis, like I'm talking about proper 30 to 40 square meter pools.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talk about luxury finishing as well. And it depends on the location. That's why the price changes as well.
Sure.
But also if we talk about, for example, the plot size of Sobha Villa starts from 6,200 square foot in Dubai.
Amazing.
So you know how important the plot size is.
That's a lot of land. You're getting a lot for your money. And this is where I do say to people, like when they're looking at different options and I'm taking them around seeing different developers, and I never let anybody say Sobha's expensive or the pricey or, you know, whatnot, because you're paying for quality. Yeah. You're paying for that bigger size. You know, it's stuff that you can't, you know, not to discredit other developers, but you can't put money on quality. Like for me personally, I've been in this industry for 26 years. I'm a landlord in the UK. I own a property and it comes down to quality. So whether I'm living there myself or it's an investment property, I need something that's going to hold its value and it's going to stay well maintained because it's less maintenance for me. So definitely important. Speaking of which, I was saying I'm a landlord and I'm an investor. What's the demographic like of Sobha clients? Have you got more investors and less end users, or is it a mixture? How does that?
So it's actually a mixture. I would say that, for example, we have the project Sobha Senior Island and the project Sobha Elite.
My new favorite. Because Sobha Hartland 2 is nearly sold out. So yeah, my new favorite.
So we have the project like Sobha Elite and Sobha Senior Island, where you can see that around like half of the buyers are residents of UAE.
Right.
So people who live in Dubai, people who live in UAE, they know Sobha quality.
Yeah.
They know what they're paying for. And this is very important because as international buyer, it's easy to get tricked with beautiful pictures, brochures, mock-ups. However, when you live in Dubai, you saw the ready buildings of each developer, you saw ready villas, and you know the difference. Yeah, this is very important because people who are living in Dubai, they prefer Sobha, they buy in Sobha, even as investment, even as a rental or for themselves as well.
Yeah.
And also, of course, it's very popular because of the quality for end users as well.
Yeah.
I had the cases when I was selling apartment to the client as investment.
Right.
Who wanted to resell it. And on handover, when he stepped into the apartment, he's like, no, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to rent it out. It's my apartment. I will live here.
Oh, yeah. That's the best, though. It's like when people change their mind and they realize actually, no, this is more than what I expected.
Exactly.
Better days.
But also, like, you know what I wanted to mention as well, like lots of investors say, I don't care about the quality.
Yeah.
I just want to I'm going to rent it out. I'm not going to live there. But people don't understand that as the owner, as a landlord, you are the one responsible for all quality costs, maintenance costs.
Yes. Yeah.
So remember when there was a flooding in Dubai? We were working, we sold actually.
Yeah. Last year. Yeah.
So what's happened? Lots of developers said that they will cover the costs of some maintenance issues during the flooding. Sobha never said that. You've been inside Sobha apartments and villas, community back to that time. We didn't have even one leakage. We didn't have even one apartment or villa got damaged. Even the roads.
And actually there was, where I was working at that time, a client of one of my colleagues, he'd sent him a message saying, look at my property, not one leak, nothing, not even the car park. And he was just like, thank you so much for, selling me this property. Now I understand when people say it's good quality. And that's what people don't realize. But actually having a well-maintained, your property being a well-maintained building or even community, it adds value to your property. It's going to help it appreciate. So that is important. Quality and the maintenance is super important to the value of your property as well, which people don't realize. So, okay, so you have a mixture of end users and investors. What about nationalities? Which is the highest nationality buying in Sobha? I mean, I know this sounds like a really silly question, but I have to ask.
So, of course, number one are Indians.
Yes.
We were building in India, actually, and Sobha is very well known, not only in India, but all over the world. But number one are Indians.
Yes.
I would say, look, in the last quarter of 2024, with current situation happening in Europe and in the UK, there are lots of UK buyers who are investing in Dubai. Lots of Europeans as well. Of course, Russians. Of course, Europeans, Russians, Indians, and I would say in the past year there is a very high demand from the US market as well.
Yeah, they're just coming in now, aren't they? Starting to learn about Dubai.
For example, one of the reasons we're gonna build in Texas. If you come to Texas, everyone knows Sobha.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. So we're traveling a lot with the roadshows, with everything. Everyone knows Sobha. So, and US market is currently like booming as well.
Yeah.
European, Russians, Indians, they were always buying. They will keep buying.
Yeah.
It will not change, hopefully.
So I think one of the reasons why the UK people are interested in Sobha, you do have offices in Mayfair, don't you?
In Park Lane, yeah.
Park Lane. But they're not only that. The Sobha's become famous because you're sponsoring Arsenal Football Club, aren't you?
Yes.
So all you Arsenal fans out there.
But also,
Sobha sponsors you,
Exactly. But also, whenever you enter the airport in the UK, in London, you come into Heathrow. But the first thing you see is Sobha. Yeah. You come into Gatwick, Sobha. So everywhere you have Sobha. It's very well known in the UK as well. Yeah, of course, because we have the office there. But however, at the same time, this is, by the way, one of the difference between UK buyers and Russian Indian buyers as well. British buyers, I would say, they don't mind to pay more for the quality.
Yes.
They better pay more but get the good quality instead of going for the cheapest and then have some issues in the future. This I know from my own experience. So, for example, currently, I would say that UK buyers, they are into villas because you know how it is in the UK. You like the terrace, you have a dog, you want your privacy. That's why, like, for example, the villas are very popular among UK buyers as well.
Sure. And I think the villas as well is because I've been speaking a lot about this in my podcast, is that, you know, there's more people moving to Dubai, families. It's not just your investor or your single person. It's actual whole families coming over, setting up a whole new life. So the villas are super popular. And as we know, there's a shortage of villas and townhouses. So to get a villa is like gold dust right now. So villas are just selling out like crazy.
And also after the COVID, the demand for villas is crazy high, and villas are showing the highest capital appreciation. Villas are showing the highest return of investment as well. Because what's happening? Everyone wants villa. There is no much villas.
I think the last 3 projects that at the time of this recording, the last 3 projects that launched that were big were villas and townhouses, because there's such a shortage of them in Dubai. To get one now, it just makes sense. Like, you are going to miss the boat if you don't buy a villa or townhouse in 2025. Just remember I said that. So what kind of after-sale support does Sobha offer? Do they offer like a resale service, a letting service, or anything like that? Like, what kind of aftercare do they do?
So, as I said, we have everything in-house from A to Z. So after the handover, apartments or villa, doesn't matter, we are offering the services of full management of the building, of the apartment or of the villa, So, for example, if you visit any building which was delivered even 6 years ago, 5 years ago, security, cleaner, everyone is directly Sobha representative, including the plumber, electrician, so no third party involved. That's why it's so easy whenever there is any maintenance issue happening to sort it out very, very fast. And as well, like, we have the full smart home system, we have sensors installed. First and secondly, we offer the services to rent out the apartment or the villa for the client. Also, what is very important, in any of our projects, it's allowed to do Airbnb and booking. And all of our projects are pet friendly. These are 2 clauses which is written in very, very small, like in some of the contracts in SPAs with other developers, when then in the end client is facing an issue that he cannot rent it out himself, that he can do it only through the developer. However, what Sobha is doing, you can do it through Sobha, you can do it yourself, you can do whatever you want. We're giving the full freedom.
And don't you offer, or is this still in the pipeline, you're doing your own interiors?
So yes, actually, we have few projects which are located currently, one in Dubai and one in Sinai Island,
Yeah.
where we have furnished apartments.
Yeah.
So by the end of 2026, Sobha furniture will be ready. We're gonna produce our furniture as well.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's going to be just as good quality as your buildings
of
are.
course, of course.
So other than the financial returns, what benefits does Sobha offer to investors? Like, I know we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but like your communities, your amenities, the brand reputation. Like, if I was an investor, well, as I've brought investors to you and they're new to Dubai, I know what I tell them for why to go to Sobha. First and foremost, I'm like, it's my favorite developer. They do reverse engineering. Harvard Business School has done a case
Yes.
study on you guys. I tell you one thing I do really love about the founder of Sobha is how he gives back 50% of his profits to charity, right?
Yes.
So like little things like that to me make a difference if I was an investor. But what as an investor, if I came in, what would be the things that you think would stand out the most? Like why should I invest with Sobha over another developer?
So first of all, again, the reputation of Sobha, because whenever you invest in your money in any of the projects, you want your money to work.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you want to rent it out, you want to rent it out on time.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait for 1 or 2 years of delays when your money is not working.
Exactly.
It's just like, firstly. Secondly, we talk about the flexible payment plans.
Yeah.
Sobha has flexible payment plans depending project to project. So, for example, we have special Ramadan promotion right now.
Yeah.
But the project located in Motor City,
Yeah.
one of the most developing areas, like with very high demand with schools, with everything, where we have the offer of 40-60 payment plan,
Yeah.
which is 40% during construction, 60% on handover.
Yeah.
And imagine as investor, I'm going to buy apartment for 1 million dirham.
Yeah.
I'm putting only 40% of the property, which is 400,000.
That's not even 40% because you're doing going to be 20% down payment.
Yes.
And then the other 20% is over. When's it going to be ready? In 2027?
Yes, December 2027.
So you've got 2 years to pay another 20%.
So actually you have 1 year, 3 months. It's very fixed. Yeah. So after the down payment, within 6 months, you need to pay another 10%.
Yeah.
And within 15 months, another 10%.
That's crazy.
And then you have 60% to be paid on handover.
Then even then you could get a mortgage on that 60%.
And you're getting Sobha apartment, Sobha quality with all these 45 plus amenities, tennis courts, basketball courts, everything within 1 million dirham.
Yeah.
It is like easy sale, even like, whatever you say, like especially the 40-60 payment plan. Developers on the level of Sobha don't have 40-60 payment plan. They have 80-20,
yeah.
90-10.
I was going to say, if we compare to some of the other top developers, I don't think they've ever done a 40. I think the lowest I've seen from one of the top 5 developers is probably a 70-30.
Exactly.
Never that much. Never that much. Like it's crazy. Okay, so a part of your job is to brief agents on Sobha projects,
I just
right?
want to add something.
Yeah.
Also regarding like the benefits of Sobha comparing with other developers, also very important. As I said, everything is in house.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be done by Sobha. That's why we always have the lowest service charge in the area.
Yeah.
Look, in Sobha Hartland too, we have service charge 15 to up to 17, approximately. Which is you don't get this price per square foot for the service charge in the area of Maidan at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about any other project, we always have the lowest service charge for the best amenities, for the best quality as well.
Yeah.
Which is very important if you're an investor who's going to rent it out.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. But also, again, you're paying for that maintenance and that quality, and where you'd probably be paying more with maybe another area or developer, you're not paying so much because everything's in-house with you, so you can keep the costs low. So Dana, a part of your job is to brief agents on the Sobha projects.
Yeah.
So just to tell people at home, so as a new agent, you would go visit all the developers, and when you're at the developers' offices, you will meet with the relationship manager. So in my case, at Sobha, it's Idana. And she will brief me on the project, on the new latest project, or say I was new to real estate, should brief me on the best ones to focus on at that time. So going back to, when you're briefing agents, what makes a good agent to work with? Like what qualities do you like in your agents that come to you? So they've come along and you're briefing them.
Yeah.
Then what?
So I think the thing is that like when in the beginning of my career in Sobha, it was so much easier to do the briefings because we had only 2 towers or 1 tower to sell. Yeah. Nowadays, whenever the broker is new in Dubai real estate and coming for the briefing, which is make a little bit complicated because now we have different projects. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to explain why Sobha first.
Yeah.
And then I'm explaining like it's impossible to remember all the payment plans, all the prices for 1 bed, 2 bed, 1 bed plus study and so on.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, just then, whenever you have a client, just let me know the budget and I'll give you the best of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying, the best agents are the ones who wants to sell. They're not lazy and hardworking. That's easy.
Yeah.
You know me. I don't mind to reply at 1 a.m., 2
No,
a.m.,
no.
3 a.m.
You don't sleep. Always
don't
working.
mind.
You were even sick and you were working. I was like, stay in bed. I've got meetings.
But that's what I'm saying. I am hard worker.
Yeah.
And this is the only way you're going to make money in Dubai.
Yeah.
If you're working hard.
Yeah.
And this is the difference between good agent and bad agent. We cannot have day offs.
Yeah.
You cannot say, excuse me, if you have US clients and you have 12 hours time difference, you cannot say, oh, you know what? No. Let's, it's going to be 3 a.m. your time.
That's why you and I speak at 1, 2 in the morning because we need to speak for our, be there for our clients.
Of course.
So before an agent brings a client to you, what would you expect them to have done already? What should they have told the client when they're pitching a Sobha project? What should they have done before they come to you bring the client to you in the sales center?
To be honest, like if you would ask me 1 or 2 years ago, I would say you need to qualify your client or something. However, now I can see from my experience that after visiting Sobha Sales Center, even if you wanted to invest it within a year, like we have one of our clients who didn't want to buy, he just came to see something and he's buying second property in a row. What I can see, what I can say, the most important probably to make sure that his budget is fitting. Yeah. But also at the same time with this payment plans where you can get the mortgage, everything can work out. Yeah. Yeah. So I can say like even I had the clients who didn't plan to buy anything. Yeah. They came to the bottom spot. Yeah. I had the clients who didn't plan to spend this money. They spent all this money. That happened to my client. Yes.
Yeah. She didn't want to spend. She had a budget and then I was like, trying to show her stuff within that price range. Yeah. She was like, but what about that one? And we were like, oh, it's more. She goes, that's fine. Like, because she fell in love. She fell in love with, what she was buying. Exactly. And that was right around the time of the flood. So yeah, I think she really believed in Sobha when she came to the sales center.
But also what I think the most important for the agent, not to sell particular project, because this is what I can do during the meeting or during Zoom call, but to explain why Sobha. Yeah. To explain this is a place where your money gonna be in safe. Right. This is where you have the guarantee it's gonna be delivered on time. Yeah. And these are the projects which you as a broker would like to sell, would like to rent it out and work on it in the future.
Yeah. And that's really important that the broker likes the project and they know something about it, because I think the reason why people love to buy Sobha from me is because they can see how much I love it. Yeah. And they've said that. They're like, you've sold it to me before I've even seen anything. You just keep saying, I love Sobha because of this, because of that. And I love this project because of this, because of that. Oh, it's my favorite. Just come and have a look. And, people just like, okay, because you believe in it, I believe in it. So yeah, that really helps. You've got to believe in what you're selling.
But also if you're very new. Yeah. No one is expecting you to know everything. No. You will learn it with the process. Yeah. For example, now Kirren is bringing me the client. She's going to experience to get to the mock-up even without me. I had the closure the same time you came with the client.
Yeah, you were busy with other clients. I was like, it's okay, just let me in. I'll do the briefing. And literally.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's how, when you like the project, you sell the project. Yeah. And with each sale, you know more about the developer. Exactly. So now you sometimes even don't need me. No. You're just like,
if anything, I think a lot of the times I interrupt and I think I work for Sobha. And I'm just like, sorry, I'll let you do your job. So no, but it's good because there's one thing I love about the way you and I work, that we are very similar in the way we work, in our work ethic. Not only do we work all hours, but when we have our client in front of us, we work well where I would have already told them X, Y, and Z. But even right in front of the client, I'll be like, Adana, this is my client. This is what I've told them. This is what they're saying. And I do it right in front of them. So they know there's no, something we've discussed in secret, because I don't think we ever really have. We've just literally spoke there and then in front of the client. And then I'll literally say to you, right, I've pitched them X, Y, and Z. What do you think? And that literally happened the last time when we went. I was like, I've told my client about this. You're like, no, actually, Kirren, consider this. And this is one thing I said to the client. I was like, I'm telling you to buy based on what I like. And like, you know, I really like this project and I really believe in it. And you were like, yeah, but if you look at the numbers, this project's better. So no, but that was good because we gave them two perspectives.
Yeah.
Although the numbers always fit, but at that particular time, you were like, the numbers fit really well with this project because of X, Y, and Z. So that was really helpful for him, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And also the client was exactly based on numbers. He was just like, you know, and the thing is that, look, sometimes I work for developer. I know inventory, like you can wake me up at 5 a.m. I know the inventory. Yeah. I know the best unit here and there. And sometimes from the inside, I know that this is a limited time offer for this payment plan where you're going to make more money or this or this or this. And we are giving always like few choices. It's also like buy only this.
No,
and then he can choose up to his preferences.
And I think one thing that buyers or agents, one or the other, in my case, buyers, because I know when you're telling me something, I'm listening, but they don't believe us when we say it's going to sell out.
Yes.
And we had a client who he was taking his time to decide on which property, which project. And every time I was like, can you just share me this project? Can you just share me this? And you were like, Kirren, it's sold out. Kirren, it's sold out. Anything you'd shared with us. And we went, I think the next day to say, is this still available? Like, nope, sorry, it's gone. Like things were selling as you were sending them to me. So when people say like, you need to move fast, agents and buyers need to listen to the RMs because they know things are moving fast.
For example, yesterday we had the new launch in Sobha Hartland too. And look, you know me well, but I understand that not everyone knows me well. When I'm pushing, saying you have to be fast, it means you have to be fast.
Yeah.
Because, for example, whatever I was offering, I was sending quotations nonstop. It was like on the phone. Okay, the client is just like, send me the link
You're
now.
literally doing it in the podcast as well, under the table. You don't stop working.
We don't have the off, so
of course. Every client is important. Every query is important because you never know when that person is ready. Like, here you go, I'm ready to go.
Of course. And especially, like, honestly, nowadays Sobha is so well known that if not you as an agent gonna bring the client to Sobha, someone else will. Yeah. And trust me, if you visit any other developer, you will see there is nowhere so much people as in Sobha.
I always try and meet Aidana in the evening, maybe after 5 p.m. when everybody's gone home. Even then, there's people everywhere. So try and go Sobha during the day. And it's so hard to hear anything. It's so hard to get a seat anywhere. It's crazy. It's like that all the time.
That's how I'm losing my voice every 2 months.
It's true. Going back to, so when you meet good agent, what's a good agent? Going to the other side, what bad experience have you had with agents?
Oh, I had every kind of agent within these 3 years. I think
something for new agents to avoid. So what makes a bad agent?
Yeah, I think
I know one thing that happened to you.
What exactly?
When you an agent booked in a meeting with a client and the agent didn't come.
Yeah, no, this is okay. I can handle it sometimes.
But that's not right though, because that's the client. If that's your client as an agent, you come with the client unless you're really like, if it was me and you and I was like, I've already brought the client to you, but I'm stuck with another client. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'm with another client. Can you just show them again? Yeah, that's different. But for the first time, you take a client to a developer and meet an RM, you should be there. That's your client.
I mean, like sometimes the brokers are not in Dubai, which I understand. But look, the thing is that you know me well, you trust me, but not everyone is gonna be not.
No, like, that's how you lose your clients. Like people, like it's the real life is people steal clients.
So that's what I'm saying. So I have few brokers who are not located in Dubai, and I work based on trust, right? And we trust each other fully. So if I cannot trust my broker, if the broker cannot trust me, I'm telling from the beginning, let's not work together. It's not gonna work out, And they're sending me some clients, and because they trust me. But at the same time, they educated the client before in advance.
That's different then.
It's different. Yeah. The client is coming, he knows about Dubai, he knows Dubai market and everything. So I'm showing Sobha, I'm closing them. Yeah. But I think the worst what's happened with me, I don't even remember the name of the agent who was texting me 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I'm sending the quotations. So I'm not the lazy one. I'm sending the quotations. And he's like, Adana, please, client wants to come tomorrow 8:30, which was Sunday, 8:30, 8:30 in the morning.
In the morning, I was going to say. Terrifying in the morning.
Sunday in the morning. I'm just like, can we do it a little bit later? He's like, no, he's very keen. Please, Aidana, please. I'm just like, okay, fine. 8:30. So what's happening? 8 a.m. I'm texting him like it's confirmed. Not even 7:30. Yes, it's confirmed. Okay, I'm getting ready, doing my makeup. It takes me 1 hour though. Getting there, and I'm always coming before time. So I'm coming like 8:15. And then the broker just stopped replying.
Oh my gosh.
Not picking up the phone, not answering, nothing. I'm just like, why you did? And that's it. And disappeared. I'm just like, it's so disrespectful to someone's time.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong saying the client changed his mind.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Let's wait, please. But you're making me 8:30 to come to the sales gallery when I was sending you quotations at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you are, I don't know, maybe you're scared or ashamed, but I don't care. It's someone's time.
Yeah, 100%. And I mentioned this in another podcast where I was talking about clients respecting your time. So in your case, it's agents as well as clients. But for me, I don't understand why. What is frustrating is that we spend hours putting together information or in a unsociable time, let's say, especially with myself that works with international clients. So they'll tell me, I want X, Y, and Z. I would sit there and it takes honestly 2 hours to collate all the information, send the email, upload it, write everything out, break it down, do little breakdowns. It takes time. You send the information and then they never respond. To me, that's just downright rude and it's disrespectful of your personal time. I respect everybody's time. So if a client says to me, I can only speak to you at this time, I'm staying up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning to speak to you. I know it's me providing you with a service, but at the same time, I could very much say, no, sorry, those times don't work for me. But actually, I've stayed awake all night to talk to you. And then 1, you don't even turn up to the Zoom call. Or 2, I've spent all this time spending information. The least someone can do, whether you're an agent or you're a client, is to say, thank you for the information. I've changed my mind.
Yes.
Or thank you for that.
Exactly.
Just let a person know rather than me rushing around. And plus, you've taken that time from someone else. Not only have you taken my personal time, but you've taken that time for a potential other client.
Exactly.
So I just think I know people are scared of they're scared of saying no.
Yes.
But it's not like that. It's about just I'd rather say, I'm sorry, it's not going ahead. I say to you all the time, sorry, they're not interested no more. At least you know, so you're not chasing that no more. That is something that really, really frustrates me. So as an agent working with you as an RM, that should be the first thing they're open to do. Just say sorry.
But also the thing is that we're all in the same field. So you as an agent should understand me more than anyone. Yeah. And I'm just like, there is nothing wrong saying no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But not to make me come there because look, so agent is not answering the phone. Yeah. I still don't have the guarantee, is it going to happen or it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I still don't want to be late for the meeting. So I'm still going there.
Yeah.
I'm still coming to the office.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there spending at least 2 hours for nothing just to arrive, to do my makeup, to wake up and everything. And then I'm waiting there because I don't know, maybe it's a traffic, maybe something happens, maybe you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, okay, I waited for half an hour, 40 minutes. There is no answer. Why would I spend my time on the weekend?
Yeah, but then you kind of think twice again to do that in the future.
Yes.
So it's like in the UK, we say the boy who cried wolf, that story.
Yes,
you keep saying it, and then the day you really mean it, we're not going to believe you. But it's frustrating because for me as an agent, if a client keeps cancelling, I'll still show up because you never know. But then it does get to a point where you're like, I can't do this no more because every time I'm booking an appointment, you cancel or you don't turn up. It's a disrespect of my time.
Yeah, yeah.
But from your side, having that relationship with an RM in a developer is massive because you can secure best units at launch for me. If I need you, I'll quickly jump on the Zoom call, this guy's going to buy, you're going to do it because I'm not going to waste your time and I'm being serious. So it is really important to keep a good relationship as an agent with your RM because they can help you through, actually close the deal. They can help you get it over the line.
It's mutual work. It's teamwork.
Yes.
Any closure is teamwork.
Yeah.
You are working as a team. You have the same goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is very important because you better relationship you have between broker and the relationship manager or sales manager.
Yeah.
Better chances to close the deal.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it.
That's
Because
it.
first of all, for example, I understand like, okay, you are getting so many messages, from the broadcast about the new projects, from everything. But whenever I know that you have this client, or whenever I know that I need to remind you a little bit personally, I don't mind to call you. I'm not shy.
Yeah, I know you ring me. Kirren, this is happening, that's happening. I'm like, okay. Let me see what I can do.
Or you can be in the US or something. I don't care. I'm not shy because I want you to keep it in your mind.
Yes.
And then because as a broker, I also understand so many developers, so many launches, so many projects, so many clients, right? And sometimes you cannot keep up with everyone sending you over and over messages.
It is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But if something hot is coming, I'm just like, Kirren, come here.
Yeah, you need to know about this. Yeah, no, that's really helpful because, like you said, I'd miss it and get like 400-500 WhatsApp messages in a day. Like, it's crazy, like trying to remember that as well as talking to your clients and attending meetings and stuff. So that phone call is very helpful. You're like, okay, I'll keep on that.
Yeah, or for example, like I know that you have clients, international clients from the UK or from the US. I'm just like, I know this information will be useful for your conversation in the future.
Yeah.
Or this is key point. Or I know, for example, you have investors who are numbers. The first thing I'm telling you, payment plan, 20% down payment and 10% per year only.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, this is what you remember.
Yeah.
But if I send you the message by message, maybe you read it, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. So we had a bit of a discussion about bad experiences. What's been your best experience when working with an agent? So obviously, I'm guessing they've just come along, they've got a client that's ready to buy and sign on the dotted line. What's your best experience?
I think the best experience when you have very nice clients. You know, sometimes when you have the clients and you have the conversation and you just like, it's nice people and you like, you know what I mean? You're having like laugh, jokes, everything. You are on the same wave.
Yeah.
And it's not like, because clients can be different. Some clients trying to fight you.
Yes.
Some client thinks that, oh my God, no, she's, or they are all scammers.
Yeah.
And just like, but when you have nice clients as well, this is the best experience because like you're enjoying the whole process, right? You're enjoying the process. You're finding them the best unit. You're finding them the best of what you can do from your perspective.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to make money. This is the best.
Yeah. 100%.
But also, honestly, what I can say as well, the best experience as well, I think, even like, for example, as developer representative.
Yeah.
When the broker likes the project.
Yes. You got to have the heart in it. It makes such a difference.
Yeah. Not just like, oh, this is a project. No.
Yeah.
When you like the project, when you like the developer and you know the key selling points, not just like, you know it. You like, for example, with Motor City, why we were selling it so well with you. You live there.
Yeah.
You had the view. You were sending me the views of our construction project. Yeah. And it was easier for you because you know everything. You know the Sobha quality. You know everything. Yeah. But this is very important for agent to like developer and to like the project.
Yeah.
Then the sale will happen.
Yeah. You have to believe in it. Like if you as an agent don't like what you're selling.
Yeah. It's
not going to work out. You can fake it. Many agents do, but me personally, I struggle. If I'm like, I don't like it, I don't like it. If I wouldn't buy it myself, or I wouldn't sell it to my mother. Yes. I'm not selling it to my client because ultimately I want them to have the best experience and then come back and buy more or come back to me to sell that property or rent it out.
That could happen.
So yeah.
That could happen.
Yeah. It does happen. So my last question to you is, what tips and advice would you give to any new agent that's about to join Dubai real estate from an agent's point of view when it comes to working with a developer?
Learn the products, learn the process. You have to know what is DLD. You have to know how you can get Golden Visa. You have to know at least some difference between developers. Don't focus on every developer. There are too many of them. Yeah. You'll get lost. Find 3 or 4 developers you like yourself and focus on that. No one is expecting you to know every payment plan. No one is expecting you to know all the price. But you have to know some basics, like when the resale is possible. This is what clients will ask you.
Yeah.
You need to know what is DLD. You need to know the process of investor visa and golden visa. You need to know the difference between these two things.
Yeah.
You need to know the difference between Dubai real estate market and, for example, like European, at least average.
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking about the deep information or something. No. Yeah. At least some information. And also, let's be honest. Of course, as a representative of developer, I'm always here to help. No problem at all. But what I can see from the experience as well, most of the agents as well know how to open the company here. Most of the agents who are successful, they know how to open the bank account here.
Yeah.
They can help you with Golden Visa during construction,
Yeah.
after down payment, after this. I mean, in the beginning, no one is expecting you to know.
Yeah.
But some basic information, how the process works,
Yeah.
you need to know.
Definitely. I do that.
Knowledge is a key.
Yes, definitely.
Don't be lazy. Learn. I'm not saying to learn all the prices or payment plans or all. No, learn exactly the real estate market of Dubai.
Yes.
Overall information.
Yeah.
At least average, because your client will ask you these questions.
Yeah.
And if I'm there, of course, I'm going to be here to reply. But if it's going to be face to face, and sometimes, for example, also one of the mistakes which I want to advise to avoid, people are scared to say, I will confirm.
Yes.
I will check for you.
Yes.
Don't be scared. Instead of saying the wrong information, say, I will check. I will check. I will check. There is nothing wrong in it.
That doesn't discredit you as an agent.
Yes,
That's just you like, let me just double check.
Yeah,
and that, if anything, someone will respect you more that they're getting the actual information and not just like making it up.
Exactly. That's why, and if you don't know something, instead of giving the wrong information, just say, let me double check and I'll come back to you.
For sure.
And it will take you 1 or 2 minutes to call your friend or your manager or relationship manager or developer just to clarify.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming today, Adana. It's
Thank
been
you.
so grateful to have you here and it's been so informative. I feel like I know Sobha all over again now.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
I enjoyed today's conversation.
Great.
We're always chatting a lot, though.
Yeah.
We don't have issues with that.
No, yeah. Chatty patties.
Exactly.
Adana, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. It's been incredibly informative. For our listeners who want to learn more about Sobha and their investment opportunities, you can find Adana's contact details in the show notes. That's all for this episode of Coffee with Kirren. Join us next time for more insightful conversations.